It was a few minutes past midnight when he heard the faint whimper coming from behind a row of trash bins near the dimly lit parking lot. Daniel was tired, his shoulders aching from another 12-hour shift, his mind heavy with bills, worries, and the endless responsibilities of raising a 6-year-old daughter alone. He could have ignored the sound. Most people would have. But something about that soft, frightened cry pulled him toward the shadows. Before we continue this emotional story, take a quick moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, Kindness Stories. If you believe that small acts of kindness can change lives and that everyone deserves a second chance, this story is for you. Daniel slowly stepped closer, the yellow streetlight flickering above him. His worn sneakers scraped against the pavement as he crouched down beside the bins. At first he saw nothing but darkness. Then two trembling eyes reflected the light. It was a dog. A beautiful golden retriever, muddy and shaking, its fur tangled with leaves and dirt. The dog looked exhausted, as if it had been wandering for hours. When Daniel extended his hand, the animal hesitated, then slowly crawled forward and rested its head against his palm. Daniel's heart softened instantly. For a moment he forgot about his exhaustion, his overdue rent, and the long bus ride home waiting for him. He simply knelt there, gently stroking the frightened animal as it breathed heavily against his hand. Then he noticed the collar. The name tag glinted in the streetlight. And when Daniel read the engraved name beneath the dog's, his stomach tightened. The tag listed an address he knew very well. It belonged to his boss, Margaret Whitmore, the powerful CEO of Whitmore Financial. The woman who owned the towering glass building where Daniel worked nights as a janitor. The same woman he had only seen from a distance in elevators or meetings he was never meant to attend. Daniel stared at the tag again, unsure if he had read it correctly. Bella, property of Margaret Whitmore. His boss's dog. Daniel exhaled slowly, almost laughing at the strange coincidence. Of all the stray animals he could find in the middle of the night, it had to be his boss's missing dog. Bella whimpered again, pressing closer to him. Daniel glanced down the quiet street. No cars passed. The city had gone silent. He couldn't leave her there. Carefully, he removed his old work jacket and wrapped it around the dog's trembling body. Bella didn't resist. Instead, she leaned against him as if she had been waiting for someone kind enough to stop. Daniel checked the address again. It was only a few blocks away, in the wealthiest neighborhood in the city. A place Daniel had never imagined entering. Still, he knew what he had to do. He gently guided Bella beside him and began walking toward the address on the tag. The contrast between Daniel's life and the neighborhood ahead became obvious with every step. Small apartments and cracked sidewalks slowly gave way to clean streets, quiet gardens, and towering gates. Bella walked slowly, occasionally glancing up at Daniel with grateful eyes. Daniel couldn't stop thinking about his daughter, Lily. She had been begging him for a dog for months, ever since she saw one at the park. But Daniel barely had enough money for groceries most weeks, let alone a pet. The thought made him smile sadly. When they finally reached the address, Daniel stopped in front of an enormous modern house surrounded by iron gates and tall hedges. Soft lights glowed inside the windows. Even from the outside, the house looked like something out of a movie. Daniel hesitated. What if security thought he was trespassing? What if they didn't believe he had found the dog? What if? Bella suddenly barked. Lights turned on inside the house. Footsteps approached the door. And before Daniel could second-guess himself, the large wooden door swung open. Standing there